Get to know the people.
Right.
Just get to know the people, get to know the community. Because once you start to understand what it is, that's when you can figure out how you can provide whatever small corner you are on in Coconut Grove, you can provide part of that experience.
Right.
And that's what makes it so special. If you're trying to chase top line sales right away, if you're trying to chase your margins, don't do that. So once you start understanding who your community is, that's what we did. And it's like, okay, let's do something for the families on the weekends. Let's have arts and crafts for the kids. I was an actor, and that was my big dream, is to go to New York. That's going to change the whole landscape of that area.
Too.
It's so exciting.
Today, we're going inside the Grove with Gideon Horowitz. Gideon is the regional manager for Bartaco and someone whose connection to Coconut Grove goes back decades. From spending time in the neighborhood growing up to working at the Improv at Mayfair during a memorable era in the Grove's entertainment scene. In this episode, we talk about the evolution of the Grove, the surprising through line between comedy and hospitality, and why Coconut Grove continues to attract people looking for experiences that feel genuine. All that and more right now on Inside the Grove.
Gideon, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us on Inside the Grove.
I'm proud to be here. This is the up and coming podcast of South Florida.
You
were on this show. You were somebody, so this is a big moment for me.
It's a big moment for me too. I know, you and I have met in passing a few times. We've had a few little minor issues and good things, all working out, trying to make the community a better place.
You guys have been amazing.
No, you at Bartaco, you guys have been a great member of the community, and we really do appreciate it. So speaking of a member of the community, right? You're a Miamian. You grew up in Kendall, I believe.
Kendall, Calusa.
So what were your experiences coming down to the Grove as a young fledgling young man?
Yes. So as a young man, my parents were hippies, so they clearly gravitated towards Coconut Grove back in the day. And my father always loved coming here. Just the tree canopy. There was something so unique about this neighborhood, and the thing that drew us in every year, like it still does, is the Coconut Grove Arts Festival. So my earliest memories are being wheelbarrowed from the church. That's where everybody used to park, and you make a little bit of a walk. So much so that I remember Green Street Cafe, because sometimes we would stop by Green Street Cafe and go around the corner. But just to be in Peacock Park, have the bands playing, I mean, that memory of me in the 80s, in the early 90s, the trees that I climbed on are still there.
Wow.
So when my brother came to visit, I was like, yo, let me show you something. And we have pictures of us in these tall trees. That in itself is like that unique history of Coconut Grove that still remains, that makes it, so special to me and the memories that I've had in the neighborhood.
Well, speaking of the Arts Festival, right? It's gone through so many iterations over the years. It used to be free, and then and it kind of was on the downtick a few years back, and now it's seemingly coming up. I've had a great time at the last few that I've been to. I mean, what are your thoughts on the new? Right? It's under new management, kind of, and it's a little different.
So
Tell me about it.
The evolution of where it has gone, I think, it's good overall for the community, because I think it's elevated the experience of what it is. I mean, obviously, back in the day, there's lots of things in South Florida that were like that. And that evolution, I think, has come to a point now where it's community-driven, and it's not just about the festival. And I think that's what makes it more organic as it's moved along, is it's not just come to us. It's, hey, this entire community is going to get together. Yes, we're a ticketed event. Yes, you can come by. But there's still art festivals popping up all around, and they don't, shun upon those. It feel like it's still inclusive. So it just becomes this big art celebration. And I think that's the positive side of what it's become. Obviously, people don't want to pay for a ticket that they used to not to, but hey, it was the 80s. A lot of things were cheaper.
That's
Gas
true.
was $1. So
it's still a reasonable price.
It still is.
There,
so, and what you're getting for that experience and just the local aspect of it. I mean, a lot of those artists that were there now, I remember from like being a little kid. There's a guy that does these little figurines that are still there. And I think that, that kind of memory sticks with people, and that kind of return visit for people. It is part of how this neighborhood became what it is and what it was and what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood festival. When I go there, it's like the who's who of Coconut Grove. You're bouncing in, seeing old friends from the city of Miami days, running into everybody. It's like a little neighborhood get-together where
that
everybody...
poster unveiling. So we were there for, I think, last year's that you guys did.
Yep.
that poster, anybody that's in South Florida, when you go to their homes and you see that up there, it's like the Flanagan's Cup, right? Like, it's like, oh yeah, the Coconut Grove Arts Festival. It is a staple of growing up in this community in South Florida, so it's awesome to be part of
The
it.
Flanagan's Cup
Flanagan's
of posters.
Cup,
We got to get
Coconut Grove
that.
Arts
That's
Festival
got to be the
poster.
new motto
Yeah.
on their poster.
That's it.
I have like 15 Flanagan's Cups in my house. I
Shout
just
out
got
Jimmy
some.
and McCully, by the
Oh
way.
yeah,
I love those guys.
Wow, that's such a great. That's such a great little cross promotion you do. No, and you talked about neighborhood and the arts festival is always giving discounts to residents and things, and giving tickets to people that are impacted in the local community. So that's part of what you got to do business in Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
If you're out here and you're starting a business in the Grove, you have to be ingrained in the community. You have to work. You have to get to know the other business owners. You have to go out. And we were speaking about that before the show, and it's so true from what I've seen.
Who are they and why are they here? If you're not asking that question as a new business in Coconut Grove, if you're trying to chase top line sales right away, if you're trying to chase your margins, don't do that. Get to know the people.
Right.
Just get to know the people, get to know the community, because once you start to understand what it is, that's when you can figure out how you can provide whatever small corner you are on in Coconut Grove, you can provide part of that experience,
Right.
and that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, you and talking about special bartaco. We were speaking earlier. Every time I walk by there, it's packed, not packed, but it's busy. It's always busy. Lunch, it's one of the few that's busy for lunch and dinner and the nightlife. I mean, what's the secret over there? It's truly amazing.
So obviously it's a very unique space. The reason people go out to places is to feel good. And I think number one, when you walk in our building, it's just beautiful. I have a glass skylight. Everything is there's curves all across the architecture. There's not one sharp edge on there. We have the balcony, the outside area with the Airstream bar. So the physical space in itself lends itself to so many different ways of how you can enjoy your experience. And I think that's the biggest part of what makes Bartaco special is not only is the food amazing and it's all from scratch, it's gluten-free, but we provide a space for all different demographics and market segments. So for Coconut Grove, it's perfect because you have families. We have a little golf area outside and we have arts and crafts for the kids. So once you start understanding who your community is, that's what we did. And it's like, okay, let's do something for the families on the weekends. Let's have arts and crafts for the kids. Now, the business professionals, they're there during the week. They're looking for something fast, that's affordable, but also fresh. So they're during the day, you're going to see a bunch of business professionals coming in. Then we tap into catering, date night, early dinner crowd, and then after that you got the late night crowd. So if you really separate the market segments, that's really what we've done. And it's not about us trying to do anything and force feed it. It's more about what does this community want and how can we cater to what it is that they're looking for. And we're in year 3 right now, and I think we're done a pretty good job of it. There's still more room to grow, and we've had hiccups and ups and downs, but overall listening to the community and what they want, and this community is definitely vocal about what they want, but the more that you reciprocate, that's really where you earn the business. And I think that's the biggest thing is you have to earn it. You can't just come in and say, hey, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
That was the biggest part of our success, I think.
Well, whatever you guys are doing is you're doing well. I heard is this the top performing bartaco?
One of, yeah, we're
Okay.
getting there. We actually slowed ourselves down a little bit, and that's, I think, unique to Bartaco, whereas most people are like, get what you can, quick cash grab.
Right.
And I think a lot of people do that when they try to come to this community. If you do that, that you could see through it right away.
Right.
We had a second floor that we didn't open up for an entire year. We just weren't ready for it. We wanted to make sure that we were doing everything right. We wanted to make sure that the service wasn't just service, it was hospitality.
Right.
Get to know who our community is, why are they here, and how can we get them back. Once we establish that second floor, that's where but there's still room to grow.
So speaking about hospitality, you weren't always in hospitality, right?
No.
You were in the entertainment biz.
Same thing,
the
right?
tenderloins, the tenderloins, right? I want to hear a little bit about this.
So I grew up in Kendall, Miami Sunset, Thespian. I was an actor, and that was my big dream, is to go to New York. But part of being an actor in New York is getting into restaurants. So when I was in New York, I started, that's where I cut my teeth on the restaurant world, Jekyll and Hyde, Serendipity, a lot of famous places up there. And then my side gig was doing comedy, acting, and through that, I met a couple gentlemen that lived in Staten Island. They invited me to join their comedy troupe, which is called the Tenderloins. So I was with them for a couple of years, and we would travel around, we would tour. We all had regular jobs. I was running Jekyll and Hyde, which is a big theme restaurant at that time. And then I was going to move back down. I know my wife since 4th grade, so I was like, hey, I met this girl. I'm going to stay down in South Florida. And from there, the Tenderloins became what they are now. And I had a little stint of running the Improv too, so I got to kind of revisit my old comedy troupe friends. But they still come to town once in a while, communicate with them a little bit. But that part of my life, the entertainment, it lends itself very much to hospitality. I mean, doing table visits, talking to guests, especially improv, being able to do this is a big part of it as well.
Well, it's, if you don't know, that's the Impractical Jokers, right? That's,
that's
who they evolved into. Well, speaking about hospitality, right? What's more challenging, right? Making somebody laugh or making somebody feel like they're being taken care of?
Oh, wow, that's a good one. You knew that was a good one, too. He's like, I got it. Honestly, I think laughter is one and the same of taking care of somebody. Everybody has certain skill sets in hospitality. Mine is humor. So my table visits, I lean into my background with that. So for me, it's kind of like a cheat code because I can create the comedy at the table. Sure. But that doesn't mean that all hospitality people have to be that way. You have some that are nurturing. At the end of the day, to get anybody to feel, I think that's the goal. And whether that's through art, whether that's through comedy, whether that's through food or the dining experience, I think ultimately our goal is to get that feeling out of people. And the better you become at human connection, I think you become better at hospitality. So.
I agree. I think it's easier making people laugh depending on who the opening act is, right?
Well, if people are going to a comedy club, they come in with a smile because they're like,
not always.
Well,
you see
true.
Some hecklers.
Yeah. There's
right.
Back in the day, that's get a couple drinks in them that ease tension.
So now, did you ever perform in the Playhouse or anything like that back in the day when you were a kid?
The Actors Playhouse that was
the Coconut Grove Playhouse.
Coconut Grove, no. But now that it's coming up, I mean, there's going to be amazing performances. That's literally right behind us. I mean, what I saw the plans that are going out there, and that's a testament to Coconut Grove, like just reinventing itself again. That's going to change the whole landscape of that area.
Too.
It's so exciting because now it's like, yes, we have movies, but we were talking about AI-driven things and what people consider entertainment. I think live theater is something that's lacking in South Florida as a whole, or it just has an empty space that needs to be filled. And I think Coconut Grove is going to provide that for a lot of people. Yeah. So I'm so curious as to what's going to be there. I mean, there can be comedy there. Who knows? I mean, a lot of different stuff, but it's super exciting.
It's a smaller theater as what's proposed, and I think it'll be a great incubator, right? I think I envision it. You have the women's club where a lot of shows are being done, very small venue. Then maybe this can be that bridge to the next step, and then over to the hangar, right? Where you have a little, that maybe 1,000 seat limit over there and things like that. So I see it as, right, being able to grow, teaching young performers how to act, teaching young playwrights how to write plays, directors, all these different things. I think it's something that's missing in the Grove, and I think that's that next step in the incubation of the performing arts that we're missing. Yeah. And we could use the parking, right? And extra garage.
Yeah, we definitely use some parking.
I mentioned parking. Listen,
I share my parking with Ransom, and we're very good friends with all the kids over at Ransom. Okay. That's a little parking lot over there. But that's part of the community.
That's for the staff, you mean?
Yeah, so our staff uses the same parking lot, but we time it with their school. So when they're coming out, we're parking, and those kids come in for lunch. The seniors get to come over for lunch. So that was one of the first things learning is, hey, we got to capture that audience there and just taking care of those kids, giving them hats, gift certificates, and bring them home to their parents and things like that. That was our first part of joining the community.
Getting in with the community. So you've got the upstairs that's now open. What about the Dragonfly Garden? Dragonfly Garden.
Yes. That is not it yet. And I coined that phrase. I don't know if Bartaco
I like it. Are there lots of dragonflies back there?
No, there's not. Okay. There's not. There's just dragonfly imagery everywhere.
Okay.
So the Dragonfly Garden in the back, we've actually just recently renovated it only because it does get very hot in South Florida. There's a lot of rain sometimes. So we got these huge umbrellas, which really do cover a big portion of it now. So during the summer, we're going to have some misting fans out there. But that area is one of the most undiscovered areas of our building. So we try to encourage our team to say, have you checked out the garden in the back? Because there's a whole green area, like a putting green. So kids can do putting green. I have Connect 4, giant Jenga. And then there's an old Airstream, like a 80s Airstream that we've gutted out and turned it into a bar. So we open up that bar on the weekends. We also utilize it for private events. And that's been one of the biggest things for us and our success is doing private events, upstairs area and the outside area, just because there's not a lot of large spaces in Coconut Grove.
Right.
And for the most part, I feel like our pricing is competitive.
Very.
And, we provide good deals. Obviously, we're newer to the neighborhood, but that's, that outside area has been a lot of fun to kind of create for the community. And we've changed it based on what their needs are,
Do you have space for live? Do you do any live music out there out back?
So we do a DJ. We explored live music. We might revisit it. It's just something that didn't really catch on. We are going to start doing some viewing things. So we have a large screen TV that we got for our upstairs. Now, most bartacos, all of them, do not have TVs anywhere. But this community has, like when University of Miami did their national championships, everybody was saying, hey, you play in the game, you play in the game.
Sure.
So our brand, one of the things I like about our brand is we don't have TVs at our bar. And people always say, well, if you put TVs, you'd make a lot more money. That's not the point. We're more into the connection. We're more into the human interaction. Right. Put your cell phones down, interact with us. But through the viewing parties, I can still create that connection, and I have a separate space where I can do that. So we have it for Love Island watch parties. We have the World Cup coming in, which is going to be huge. And then we have the World Cup that's going to be playing in Peacock Park as well. Again, Coconut Grove itself provides you with so many different avenues that you can collaborate, and that's really what we're looking to do.
No, it's true. Listen, you're learning from a professional GM here, right? It's listening to your audience, listening to the people. Hey, that's not our MO. We don't want TVs in here. We're not a sports bar. But for these big events, for these major, whether it's a TV show, right? The Love Island, whatever it is that the kids are watching these days, right? Not to sound old, but whatever it is, national championship, you can get a screen back there in the Dragonfly Garden.
And in Dragonfly Garden, our projector actually is over the Airstream bar, and then upstairs in the mezzanine, the balcony, we actually have a huge 95 square inch TV that we put everything on. So
it's genius. No, listen to your community, and the community will
they're the ones
will pay you
the bills,
back.
Man.
Right. No, it's a masterclass in how to run a restaurant. So they're lucky to have you over there, and we're glad to have you in the Grove. I know you share some time in other areas as well, but I definitely see you over there quite a bit. So it's good to have you.
We're loving it, man.
We're happy
It's been an amazing community.
So I want to go we've been talking a good bit. I want to go to our final segment here, right? We call it the Grove 3. So not too difficult of questions. Cafecito or cocktails? What's your drink of choice?
It's going to be cocktails.
Okay.
It's going to be cocktails, specifically Strata.
Okay.
Strata's my spot.
Really?
Can't
That's
do this.
that was the next question. Where do you go?
Unfortunately, I've done my research. I looked at it. So the Strata, to me, represents Coconut Grove in a way of hospitality that we do as well. And I know a lot of people do, but we've really made a good relationship with them. And I think that's with all restaurants in Coconut Grove. Once you understand, you're not in competition with each other at all. My guest is your guest. And when we take care of them, they take care of us. Honestly, that bar and that team there, for me, they captured me with the first week I was here, and that was it. Like after work, that's my Strata, and then they come back. They have margaritas, I have a little wine.
I love it. No, when you feel welcome and you feel love at a place,
that makes good, man. That's what it's all about.
That's awesome. Yeah, and they're newly back in the Grove, right?
I know. It's
now,
awesome.
did you know them when they were at the other previous location as well? Okay.
We did, and then we were upset because they shut down, and then they reopened across the street from us, and the same team came over, and to see the same people follow the owners of that group, and Javier is one of the owners over there. Yep. They're treating their people right, and I think that's a big part of it as well. In the hospitality industry, that's hard to survive, and I think the key, obviously, listening to your demographic and your people, but also take care of the people that work for you. They're your biggest billboards ever.
Right. It says a lot. It says a lot about the ownership. So that's wonderful. And the last thing I got for you, describe Coconut Grove in one word.
Authentic. Because I think Grove is what the Grove is. It's not trying to be anything else. It's also not force-feeding any type of experience. You can go to the Barnacle and see one of the first houses built in Miami-Dade and walk out into the bay. Then you could take a walk and go and have coffee at Panther. Then you can go on date night. I mean, the amount of things that you could do here, but it's authentically real. It is South Florida in so many different ways. And I think authentic really, embodies what Coconut Grove's all about.
I love it. Gideon, man, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Inside the Grove.